Be me, 32F, HR director at a hypergrowth fintech startup. Living that girl boss dream, apartment is a shoebox in the mission. Rent is astronomical, but it's aesthetic. Succulents everywhere. Posters about shattering glass ceilings. Drive a Tesla Model 3 because optics matter. My job is technically people operations, but really it's babysitting 150 grown men who think they're gods because they can write Python. Company is 85% male. Engineering, sales, product, all dominated by dudes in hoodies and Patagonias. It wears on you. The noise level in the open plan office is constant. Sales guys banging gongs when they close deals. Engineers debating the merits of Rust versus Go at 120 decibels. Product managers mansplaining roadmaps to the 3 female designers we have. I sit in my glass-walled office and just watch it. It feels like a frat house with a Series A funding round. I consider myself the cultural architect of this place. My mission isn't just HR, it's civilization. I'm here to tame the savages. I listen to podcasts on my commute about the unspoken violence of male volume and spatial patriarchy. It resonates so hard, the way they take up space, the way they project their voices. It's not just annoying, it's a power play. I've been tracking interruption metrics in meetings for months in a secret spreadsheet. Men interrupt women 70% of the time. Women apologize 90% of the time before speaking. It makes my blood boil. I need to do something radical. Not just another diversity seminar where they eat the free pizza and ignore the slides. I need structural change. Something that forces them to feel what we feel. Voicelessness. Monday morning, all hands meeting. CEO Brian is up there rambling about Q3 targets. Brian is the quintessential tech founder. Mid-30s, wears all birds, thinks he's Elon but with empathy. He's terrified of bad PR, which is my leverage. During the Q&A, one of the female junior devs, Maya, raises her hand. She starts to ask about work-life balance before she gets 5 words out. Jason, VP of Sales, cuts in. Actually, regarding burn rate, Brian, I think we need to push harder on the enterprise tier. Brian pivots immediately to answer Jason. Maya slowly lowers her hand. She looks resigned. Nobody else notices, but I notice. That's the catalyst. I spend the rest of the day in a fugue state of righteous indignation, brainstorming in my notebook. Title: Project Amplify. Concept: Create an artificial scarcity of male voices to increase the value of female contributions. I formulate the policy. Mindful Tuesdays. Sounds soft, corporate, harmless. The mandate: To foster better active listening and written communication skills, male employees will observe a day of verbal silence. Verbal communication restricted to critical emergencies only. All other comms via Slack, email, or Jira. Women have the floor. Women run the meetings. Women speak. It's brilliant. It's distinct. It's disruptive. I book a one-on-one with Brian for late afternoon. I pitch it not as a punishment, but as innovative culture building. Brian, we have a retention problem with female talent. They feel unheard. This is a zero-cost exercise in empathy training. Brian looks nervous. Silence? Like no talking at all? How do sales make calls? They can email or schedule calls for the other 4 days. It teaches prioritization. I don't know, Emma. The engineers need to collaborate. They love Slack, Brian. They complain about meetings constantly. This gives them deep work time. It's a productivity hack. I use his own buzzwords against him. Productivity hack gets him. He nods slowly. Okay. Run it as a pilot. 1 month. If output drops, we stop it. Deal. I leave his office feeling like I just signed the Declaration of Independence. The rollout. Wednesday morning. I send the email to the entire company. Subject: New initiative. Mindful Tuesdays and the power of listening. I filled it with the most HR-friendly jargon imaginable. Synergistic communication, asynchronous workflow optimization, decentering the dominant narrative. The rules are bolded. Rule 1. Every Tuesday is a day of silent reflection for male-identifying staff. 2. Verbal speech is reserved for female staff and absolute emergencies. 3. Meetings will be led exclusively by women. 4. Use Slack text for all internal comms. I hit send and wait for the explosion. Slack channels light up immediately. I monitor the general and random channels. At first it's confusion. Is this a joke? Is it April 1st? Then, the outrage. How am I supposed to do code review? I have client demos on Tuesdays. I start replying in threads with smiley emojis. Great opportunity to practice written documentation. Reschedule demos to Wednesday. Clients appreciate flexibility. Then Henry walks into my office. Henry is the lead back-end engineer. The guy is a monolith, 6 foot something, beard, stoic, literally never smiles. He's the one person Brian is afraid of losing because he built the core payment architecture, Emma. He stands in the doorway, arms crossed. Henry, come to embrace the new initiative. This is going to tank velocity. Why? Because you have to type instead of shout? Because verbal communication has high bandwidth. Typing has low bandwidth. You're bottlenecking the information flow. It's 1 day a week, Henry. It's about equity. Maybe if you guys listen more, you'll write better code. He stares at me. It's not a hostile stare exactly. It's analytical. Like he's looking at a bug in the code that he can't patch, so he has to work around it. Define emergency, he says. Fire, blood, or server total collapse, I say flippantly. Anything less, put it in a ticket. Understood. He turns and walks away. No shouting match, no drama. I'm disappointed. I wanted him to yell so I could write him up for aggression. Instead, he just accepted the parameters. Whatever. Compliance is compliance. The weekend before the first Tuesday, I spend the weekend prepping. I print out little buttons that say Silent Ally. I order purple cupcakes for the break room. I feel like a general on the eve of battle. I text my friends in a group chat. About to revolutionize the workplace tomorrow. The bros aren't ready. My friends send Yas Queen gifts. Validation feels good. Sunday night, I can barely sleep. I imagine the office. Peaceful. Women laughing and collaborating. Men quietly working in the background, finally understanding their place. It's going to be a utopia. First Tuesday. The silence. I arrive at 8:30 a.m. The office is usually a zoo by now. Coffee grinders whirring. People shouting across desks about football or crypto. Today, church-like silence. It's actually jarring. I walk through the engineering bay. 30 men sitting at their desks, headphones on, typing. The sound of mechanical keyboards is the only noise. Clack, 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 clack. It sounds like a swarm of locusts. I pass Henry's desk. He doesn't look up. He has a Silent Ally button on his monitor, but he's placed it upside down. Petty. I go to the kitchen. There's a line for the coffee machine. Usually, this is prime social time. Today, the men are standing in line, looking at their phones, not making eye contact. Maya and another female dev, Mary, are at the table. Hey, Emma, Maya says, voice echoing loudly in the quiet room. Heads turn, then turn back. Hey, how's it feeling? I ask, projecting my voice. It's weird, Mary admits. But kinda nice. I can hear myself think. Exactly, I beam. Enjoy the space, it's yours. A guy named Toby approaches us. Toby is in marketing. He's the classic male feminist, always retweeting my diversity posts, always trying to be one of the girls. He waves frantically, points to his mouth, then gives a thumbs up. He pulls out a notepad and writes, "Loving the energy today, ladies." He shows it to us with a desperate grin. I smile tightly. Thanks, Toby. You can just go sit down. He nods enthusiastically and shuffles away. Even the allies are annoying, but at least he's silent. 10 a.m. The stand-up. I observe the engineering stand-up. Usually, Henry runs this. Today, Mary has to run it. She's nervous. The team stands in a circle. Henry, 5 other senior devs and 2 juniors. Mary holds the scrum board marker. Okay, ticket 405. She looks at Henry. Henry stares at her. He doesn't nod, doesn't shake his head. He's a statue. Mary looks panicked. Is that one done, Henry? Henry pulls out his phone. Types. A Slack notification pings on everyone's phone simultaneously. Henry Slack. Ticket 405 is blocked by dependency on API v2. See Jira comment 34. Mary checks her phone. Oh, okay, right. Ticket 408? Another ping, Henry Slack. Completed. Pushed to staging. The rhythm is excruciating. Speak. Wait for typing. Read. Speak. A 15-minute meeting takes 45 minutes. By the end, Mary looks exhausted. Okay, thanks guys, she sighs. The men disperse instantly. I walk up to Mary. Great job leading, Mary. She looks at me with tired eyes. Emma, that was awful. It took forever. I felt like I was talking to a wall. It takes time to adjust, I assure her. They're learning to yield. You're doing great. The lunch rush. I go to the cafeteria. It's segregated by behavior. The women are sitting together, talking, mostly about how weird the day is. The men are scattered. Some are eating at their desks, which is technically against policy, but I let it slide. Others are eating in the cafeteria, alone, scrolling Reddit. I see Jason, the VP of sales. He's eating a salad with aggressive speed. I sit opposite him. Hi, Jason. Enjoying the piece? He looks up, points to his ear. He's wearing AirPods. He taps his watch, pulls out his phone and types a message to me. Jason Slack. Can't talk. Mindful Tuesday. Also, just lost a lead because I couldn't call them back within the 5-minute window. Hope the silence is worth 50K. I read the message and feel a spike of defensiveness. You could have emailed them explaining the situation, I say out loud. He types again. Jason Slack. I did. They replied, is your phone broken? Call me now or I go to competitor X. I didn't call. They went to competitor X. Following protocol, he smiles. It's a shark smile. He wants me to break. He wants me to say, okay, call them. But I can't. If I make an exception for sales, the engineers will want one, then the product guys, then the whole thing collapses. We'll make up the revenue, I say confidently. Culture eats strategy for breakfast. He raises an eyebrow, returns to his salad. I leave the table feeling unsettled. He lost 50K to prove a point? That's toxic masculinity right there. Cutting off your nose to spite your face. I refuse to let them win. By 3 p.m., the office energy is dead. Usually, there's a buzz of collaboration. Now, it feels like a library during finals week. Everyone is miserable. I walk past a conference room. Product design review. The lead designer is a woman, Elena. She's presenting wireframes. 4 male developers are sitting there. Elena asks, what do we think about this button placement? Is it too aggressive? Silence. She waits. Guys, feedback. The guys all start typing. Elena's phone blows up with 4 different Slack messages at once. She tries to read them all. Okay. Dave says move it left. Mike says keep it right but change color. Sam says, wait, Sam, what does this mean? Sam types again. Elena reads. Oh, okay. But if we do that, does it break the mobile view? More typing. Elena throws her hands up. God, can someone just draw it? One of the guys, Mike, stands up, walks to the whiteboard, picks up a marker, draws a big X on the button, sits back down. Elena sighs. Okay, fine. We'll scrap it. She looks defeated. I walk in. Great collaboration, team. Really thoughtful feedback. Elena looks at me. Emma, this is taking 3 times as long. I can't iterate like this. It encourages precision, Elena. Think before you speak. Or type. She rubs her temples, I guess. Wednesday. The hangover. The ban is lifted. I expect the noise to return, but it doesn't. The office is quieter than usual. I walk in and say, good morning, to the sales pit. A few guys mumble, morning, without looking up. Jason doesn't acknowledge me. The vibe has shifted from annoyed to cold. I get an email from Brian. Subject. Tuesday revenue. Body. Emma. Sales were down 40% yesterday. Jason says his hands were tied. We need to discuss this. I reply. Teething problems. They are protesting the change. Give it another week. They'll adapt. I dodge Brian for the rest of the day. I notice something else. The men aren't talking to me anymore. Usually, guys would stop by HR to ask about benefits or vacation days or just chat. Now, radio silence. They send emails. Formal, cold emails. Dear Emma, per the handbook, I am requesting PTO. No emojis, no banter. It feels sterile, but I tell myself this is professional boundaries being re-established. Week 2 and 3. The trenches. The second Tuesday is worse. The novelty is gone, now it's just a slog. I try to rally the women. We have a women's leadership lunch. How are we feeling? I ask the room of 20 women. Silence. Finally, Maya speaks up. Honestly, it's kind of awkward. The guys are being weirdly obedient. How so? Like, yesterday I asked Dave for help with a database query. Usually, he'd just come over and show me. Yesterday, he sent me a link to the documentation and said, "Read this." He wouldn't speak to me. Well, I spin it. That empowers you to learn it yourself. Yeah, but it took me 3 hours. He could have explained it in 5 minutes. Self-reliance is key, Maya. She looks down at her salad. I can feel them losing faith, but I can't stop. The men have weaponized the silence. One guy, Steve in accounting, literally brought a vow of silence chalkboard. He wears it around his neck. If you ask him a question, he writes on the chalkboard. It takes forever. I catch him smirking while erasing the board. They are mocking me, but I won't crack. The incident. Week 4, Tuesday again. I'm stressed. Brian is breathing down my neck. Investors are asking why our commit velocity, amount of code written, has dropped 25% this month. I need a win. I'm in the server room with Henry and a junior female dev, Jess. Something is wrong with the main production database. Customers are tweeting that the app is down. Brian runs in. What is going on? We are losing $10,000 a minute. He looks at Henry. Henry, fix it. Henry is calm. He's sitting at the terminal. He's typing commands, but he's not talking. Jess is panicking. I don't know what's happening. The logs are gibberish. Brian shouts at Henry. Henry, explain to her what to do so she can help you. Henry turns to Brian, points to the calendar on the wall. It's Tuesday. He turns back to the screen. Brian's face turns purple. Screw the Tuesday. Talk, damn it. Henry pauses. He opens a text editor on the screen. Types slowly. Policy strictly forbids verbal comms except for critical emergencies. Brian screams. This is a critical emergency. Henry types. Define critical. Nobody is dying. Data is safe. Just unavailable. I step in. Henry, stop playing games. Just fix it. Henry types. I am fixing it. Typing is slow. Would be faster if I could coordinate with Jess, but rules are rules. He's holding the company hostage. He knows exactly what the problem is, but he's refusing to verbalize the solution to Jess because she needs to lead. Jess is near tears. Henry, please, just tell me what to grep for. Henry ignores her verbal plea, sends her a Slack message. She alt-tabs to Slack, reads it, alt-tabs back, types a command. It's wrong. Error message. Henry sighs. Aloud apparently, types another Slack message. This goes on for 20 minutes. 20 minutes of downtime. That's $200K lost. Finally, the system comes back up. Brian is shaking. He looks at me, dead in the eye. My office. Tomorrow morning. He walks out. Henry takes off his headphones, looks at me, finally speaks. Voice rusty from disuse. You wanted us to listen, Emma. We're listening. We're listening to the silence of the revenue dropping. He packs up his bag and leaves. I stand there, furious. They sabotaged me. They deliberately let it burn to prove a point. The fire drill, the final straw. Thursday afternoon. I'm drafting a defense strategy for my meeting with Brian. Suddenly the fire alarm blares. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Strobe lights flash. I jump up, grab my bag, head into the hallway. It's filled with smoke. Real smoke. This isn't a drill. Panic sets in. I run toward the east stairwell. There's a crowd of people, mostly men from engineering. They are standing in front of the door. Nobody is moving. I push through. Move. Go. There's smoke. Henry is at the front. He's looking at the door handle. It's jammed, but nobody is yelling. Nobody is shouting, door is stuck or go back. They are just standing there, looking at phones, typing in the emergency Slack channel. I scream, why aren't you moving? Henry looks at me, calmly. Door jammed. Well, yell it to the people behind you. They are pushing. He shrugs. Not Tuesday, but habit. He's mocking me, even in a fire. He's proving that my policy of silence has conditioned them to disconnect. I have to scream. Everyone turn around. The door is jammed. Go to the west stairs. My voice cracks. I sound hysterical. The men look at me, then slowly turn and walk to the other stairs. Orderly, silent, like robots. We get outside. Fire trucks are arriving. It was a small electrical fire in the break room. We're standing in the parking lot. I'm coughing. Brian finds me. Are you okay? The door was jammed. I gasp. Nobody said anything. They just stood there. Brian looks at the group of engineers standing silently in a cluster. You broke them, Emma, he whispers. You turned them into drones. I tried to make them allies. No. You tried to make them irrelevant. And now they act like it. I look at Henry. He's checking his watch, totally unbothered. He catches my eye. He doesn't smile. He doesn't scowl. He just looks, indifferent. That hurts more than hate. I don't matter to him. I'm just an error in the system that he's waiting to be patched out. Friday morning, the meeting with Brian. He doesn't even yell. He looks tired. Emma, the board met last night. I can explain the downtime. It was Henry's passive aggressiveness. It doesn't matter whose fault the specifics are. The culture is toxic. We have 3 lawsuits pending from sales guys claiming hostile work environment. We lost key accounts, and the engineering team is threatening to unionize. He slides a paper across the desk. Severance package. 2 weeks' pay. Sign it and go. 2 weeks? I've been here 3 years. You cost us $3 million in a month, Emma. Take the 2 weeks. My hands are shaking. I sign it. You're making a mistake. You're silencing a progressive voice. I'm silencing a liability. Goodbye, Emma. I pack my box. I walk through the open office. It's Friday. The silence ban is off. But nobody talks to me. As I pass the engineering pit, I hear laughter. I look over. Henry is sitting with Mary and Jess. He's pointing at a screen, explaining something. He's animated. He's talking. Mary is laughing. Oh my God, that makes so much sense. Why didn't we do that earlier? Because, Henry says, voice carrying clearly, we were waiting for the noise to clear. He's talking about the code, but he's talking about me. He sees me, stops smiling. The whole group goes silent. They watch me walk to the elevator. 30 pairs of eyes. No catcalls, no interruptions, no mansplaining. Just pure, indifferent silence. The elevator doors close. I see my reflection in the metal. I look tired. I look small. I got exactly what I wanted. Men who don't speak to me. And it's the loneliest feeling in the world. Be me 6 months later, unemployed. Rent is overdue. Living in a shared apartment in Oakland with 3 other creatives. Applying for jobs at non-profits that pay in fulfillment. I'm at a coffee shop. Overhear 2 guys talking code at the next table. One of them is explaining a concept to the other. He's loud, he's interrupting, he's passionate. Old me would have scoffed. Old me would have posted about toxic masculinity. New me? I just drink my latte and listen, because honestly, at least they're building something. I check my phone, LinkedIn notification. Henry has been promoted to CTO. Article title, How Radical Focus and Asynchronous Workflows Saved This FinTech Unicorn. He took credit for the silence strategy, but he tweaked it. Focus Tuesdays, no meetings, just code. He stripped out the gender politics and made it about efficiency. And he's a hero for it. I close the laptop, stare out the window. The world is noisy, and I'm finally quiet.